All right, well, welcome again to Western Pennsylvania. I'm Chris Deluzio. I share Allegheny County with Summer Lee, represent Beaver County. You're in pretty sacred ground here in Western Pennsylvania for the labor history. I got some folks from Pittsburgh who know that history around here. All right, all right. Look, this is a special place. We talk a lot about hard work and sacrifice. We also talk about solidarity. That is the backbone of the labor movement, and I see it in all of you. Do you guys feel that solidarity and that strength? All right. Look, I see right now a fight between good and evil. We see it in Washington. I see it all over the country. But whether our sacred values are on the line, whether your hard work is something that's going to be rewarded in this country, or whether corporate America is just going to put their heel on the neck of workers. You see it every day. We know the American dream has been ripped away for so many. I'm 41. Maybe that makes me young, maybe old, I don't know. Somewhere in the middle. I will tell you, for my generation, we're the first Americans in a long, long time who no longer expect to be better off than their parents. Is anybody okay with that? Hell no. No one should be okay with that. And there is a bad guy in this story. It is the corporate power that has corrupted our politics, corrupted workplaces, corrupted our country. And you guys know it. That is the central conflict that I think we are all up against, where worker power has something to say. I think you guys have something to say. Am I right? I couldn't hear you. Do you have something to say about this? All right. Look, let's talk about some of those conflicts. We still have workers striking for more than 1,000 days at the Post-Gazette right here. 1,000 days. That's a picket line that the Congresswoman and I respect. We don't cross that picket line. And that is about respecting worker power. And I'll tell you, it's not just corporate power, it's the politicians who carry their water down in Washington. I see it every day. Plundering our government for tax giveaways to robber barons, saddling us with trillions in debt, firing public servants, taking away health care and food from hungry families. That's what's going on in Washington. And it's also direct attacks on workers. Let's do some of the greatest hits. What have we seen? We've seen VA workers have their collective bargaining rights stripped away within the last week. We've seen the president fire the general counsel, the National Labor Relations Board, who used to be a CWA attorney. Jennifer Abruzzo, you guys know her. We've seen the president fire a board member of the National Labor Relations Board, Gwen Wilcox, leaving the board short of a majority to do the things that we need to protect workers and file unfair labor charges. And we know those attacks, they're not going away. Now, I also know that CW members secured some real wins in the infrastructure law, like making sure there are strong labor standards, a preference for fiber, and what is this administration doing? The Commerce Secretary, shocker, Wall Street CEO, reversed those rules in favor of non-union work, satellite companies, low-road contractors to undercut the solid work your members do. Those are the stakes that we see. Now, they passed this big, ugly bill. I don't know whatever name they've got for it. I voted no. It's a massive tax scam. It's going to make permanent tax breaks for companies that ship jobs overseas, a story that we in Western Pennsylvania know for a long time, whether it's the glass manufacturing, steel manufacturing, I go on and on. They put big constraints on getting tax credits for new manufacturing facilities that can be real strong union jobs, and they're undercutting our healthcare system and more. And we know that CWA, healthcare professionals and others fought for safe staffing ratios for a long time. And what does this bill do? It pulls those back, delays them from nursing homes for at least almost a decade. That puts those jobs at risk. It puts patients at risk. There's no lipstick on that pig. That's an ugly bill that's going to hurt a lot of us for a long time. A lot of union workers will pay for it. Now, I also know that we're not alone in the fight to turn back the clock on this. The Trump administration is doing this. Why? To protect and reward their corporate bosses, who they're afraid of. Let's be clear. It doesn't come from strength. It comes from fear. Are any of you afraid of your strength standing together? No. Hell no, you shouldn't be. Now look, the stakes are high. I laid out a bunch of them right there. I think what we could lose if we give up and let these guys have their way are the hard-earned pay and benefits that you fight and bargain for all the time, your safety on the job, health care that you earn that supports you and your families. Now, this has all been some doom and gloom, but I want to be sober and clear about what we are all up against. Labor has never had it easy anywhere in this country, and the history in this place is all about our labor movement standing strong in front of those threats. From Frick throwing Pinkertons to kill people at the Homestead strike, to workers at Aliquippa who took their battle for jobs all the way to the Supreme Court to recognize the right to collectively bargain. That is the sacred ground that you are on right now. They're willing to kill people to prevent the rights that you have that are under attack right now. I know you're willing to fight for them, and you are not alone. People in both parties, let me be clear, have long done the work of weakening labor rights in Washington. I see it still today. I think it's a disgrace. I say hell no to that. And you know you got allies in Washington to stand up for working people, to stand up for the union way of life. Because you need people down there to fight. So let's talk about who some of those villains and heroes are in the fight. I talked about the striking workers of the Post-Gazette. We should honor workers who are willing to stand up and demand more on the job. Heroes in this country are people who work to power our economy. All of you, your brothers and sisters, your work matters. Keeping the free press moving, getting people online, taking care of the sick and the elderly. I go on and on about the work your members do. You don't reward heroes with making their job less safe by taking away their dignity on the job, putting health care at risk. That's not what you do in my book. We have bills to tackle a lot of this, and I know there are a lot of people like me who support things like the Public Sector Safety Worker Protection Act. Because guess what? If you're in a state that doesn't extend OSHA to public sector workers, you don't have that protection. I could talk about the PRO Act that I know we have to pass. But you know what? It's not one bill. This fight that you are in, that we are in, is bigger than any piece of legislation. It's a righteous fight that we got to win. I'll tell you, I wake up with fire in my belly about that fight, knowing that I'm not alone, knowing that I got brothers and sisters in labor who are willing to stand together and be strong. When we fought to form our union and won, the steelworkers here at Pitt, we had brothers and sisters in labor, we had elected officials, we had community people stand with us. You feel that strength? It is all of you. So I'll ask a simple question. You look to the person to your left or your right. Does their dignity matter to you? Does their safety on the job matter to you? Does their freedom matter to you? Are you willing to do something about that? That is your power. That is your strength, and never give it up for 1 second. You have that solidarity. That is how we win. I'm with that and with you for as long as it takes to win. Let's go get them. Thank you, guys.